My journey began in the shadows of North Korea, a place where silence is survival and every step is measured in uncertainty. The air was thick with tension, and the world beyond the border felt impossibly far away, almost like a distant dream. That journey led me to freedom, a path marked by fear, hunger, and the faintest glimmer of hope that kept me moving forward. Each day was a test of endurance, and every night I wondered if I would see another sunrise. Yet, hope, no matter how fragile, was my constant companion. I survived, and now I speak for those still silenced, for the voices that remain unheard behind closed borders. My story is not just my own. It belongs to countless others who still wait for their chance to be free. My purpose is to share North Korean stories as human experiences, not just headlines or statistics. These are stories of mothers, fathers, children, of laughter and loss, of resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship. This time, I wasn't traveling to give a speech or lecture or to stand on a stage. I was traveling as a witness, as someone who knows what it means to leave everything behind in search of a new beginning. I was heading to a quiet borderland, a place where stories from the north seep through like whispers carried on the wind. Here the land itself seems to remember every footstep, every secret crossing, every tear shed in the dark. I went not as a public figure, but as someone who understands the language of caution and hope. Every movement, every glance over the shoulder, is a reminder of the risks taken and the dreams that persist. My goal was simple, yet profound. To listen. To connect with someone newly arrived. To offer understanding and a sense of belonging. Sometimes, the greatest gift is simply to be present, to let someone know they are not alone. I remembered my own first days of freedom, overwhelmed by choices, every face a stranger, every sound unfamiliar. The world was suddenly vast and confusing, and I longed for a friendly face, a gentle word. I hoped to find someone in that same fragile state, to offer a hand of friendship, a listening ear, and the reassurance that hope can grow even in the most unlikely places. Escaping North Korea is a lonely path. Meeting another who's walked it is like finding lost family. In that moment, the weight of the past feels lighter, and the future seems a little less daunting. My backpack was light, but my heart was heavy with memories and responsibility. Every item I carried was a reminder of what I'd left behind, and of the hope I carried for those still waiting. I wanted to see what dreams are being born today in those who dare to seek freedom. Each new arrival carries a story, a hope for a better life, and the courage to begin again. In their eyes, I see the future of a people who refuse to be defined by their past. The journey to the border was slow and reflective. Trains, buses, winding roads through misty mountains. Each mile felt like a meditation, the landscape shifting from bustling towns to remote, silent valleys. The mist clung to the mountains, blurring the line between past and present, hope and memory. As the train creaked along the tracks, I watched the world outside grow softer, more distant, as if I was moving not just through space, but through time itself. The further I traveled, the quieter the world became. The hum of conversation faded, replaced by the gentle rhythm of wheels on rails and the occasional call of a distant bird. Dawn brought a pale light, revealing empty roads and fields shrouded in dew, as if the land itself was holding its breath. These border towns are unique, a mix of locals, aid workers, and recent escapees, all living with unspoken tension. The markets buzzed with cautious energy, every interaction tinged with uncertainty. People moved with purpose, but their eyes often darted to the shadows, searching for familiar faces or signs of danger. History weighs heavily here. Stories of desperate crossings and new beginnings linger in the air. Every bridge and faded plaque tells a tale of loss and resilience. The faces I passed bore the marks of hardship, but also a quiet determination to survive and start anew. Trust is precious, earned slowly. In these towns, a handshake is never just a greeting. It's a careful negotiation, a silent agreement to share space and secrets. People measure their words, weighing the risks of honesty against the need for connection. I found a small guest house, its thin walls and creaking floors offering anonymity and safety. The rooms were sparse but clean, the air tinged with the scent of old wood and distant rain. Here, I could blend in, just another traveler seeking shelter from the uncertainty outside. At night, the darkness was absolute, reminding me of my childhood in Hisan. the countryside disappeared into shadow, broken only by the faint glow of a single window. In that deep silence, memory surfaced, of fear, of longing, and of the small comforts that made survival possible. Here, silence felt like a pause before a new chapter. It was a space to gather strength, to reflect on the journey so far, and the uncertain road ahead. The quiet was both a comfort and a challenge, forcing me to confront my own hopes and doubts. Each day, I walked along the river, the barrier so many risked everything to cross. The water moved slowly, carrying with it the echoes of countless footsteps and whispered prayers. The path was worn but resilient, a testament to the courage of those who had come before me. I waited for a chance encounter, knowing my role was to be present and ready to listen. Patience became my companion, as I watched the river and the people who came and went, each with their own story to tell. The right person would appear when the time was right. Until then, I remained a quiet observer, holding space for hope to find its way across the borderlands of memory. To understand North Koreans, you must understand the world they come from, a world built on a single repeated story. We're taught our country is paradise, the outside world a nightmare, especially America. Surveillance is constant, even children are taught to report on their parents. Survival is a daily struggle, and fear is ever present. True feelings must be hidden deep inside. Yet, curiosity survives. Smuggled dramas, foreign radio, whispered rumors. These fragments create a conflict between what we're told and what we sense is real. It's a dangerous awakening, leaving people mentally and emotionally adrift. Those who escape carry deep scars and uncertainty about whom to trust. Their journey is not just across a border, but through the landscape of their own minds. Meeting them means meeting someone navigating a new, often terrifying reality. On my third day, in a small church offering meals to newcomers, I saw her. She sat alone, her eyes wide with fear and curiosity, eating slowly, savoring every grain of rice. Her clothes were oversized, her hair uneven, a sign of a hurried escape. There was a stillness about her, not of peace, but of caution. She seemed both young and old, shaped by hardship. I felt an immediate connection, a reflection of my younger self. I approached quietly, offering her a cup of warm tea. She looked startled, almost ready to flee, but accepted the tea with a small nod. We sat in silence, two Korean women sharing a quiet moment. I introduced myself softly, not mentioning my past. She whispered her name, Min-jun. That small gesture was the beginning of trust. In that moment, words weren't necessary. Over the next days, Min-jun and I walked together, mostly in silence. I shared small joys of freedom, choosing clothes, reading any book, tasting new fruits. She began to ask tentative questions: the price of rice, traveling without permits, owning a television. Each question revealed the deprivation she'd left behind. I answered gently, careful not to overwhelm her. One afternoon, I asked softly, Min-jun, what did you think about America when you were in North Korea? Her reaction was unexpected, a mix of fear, shame, and a glimmer of hope. After a long, heavy pause, Min-jun finally spoke, her voice trembling and her eyes brimming with tears that threatened to spill over. The weight of her memories seemed to press down on her, making each word a struggle. We were taught Americans were wolves, the enemy. I believed it, she whispered, recalling the lessons drilled into her from childhood. In school, the teachers spoke with certainty, painting a world divided by fear and suspicion. But everything began to change the night her older brother slipped a forbidden music player under her blanket. It was a small act of rebellion, but for Min-jun, it was the first crack in the wall that surrounded her world. The music was full of feeling. It didn't sound like it was made by wolves, she said, her voice soft with wonder. The melodies were gentle, the voices warm, so different from the harsh images she'd been shown. One night, she watched an American movie in secret. It wasn't about soldiers or enemies, but about a family. Ordinary people laughing and crying together. They had enough food, the father loved his daughter. I started to dream about that life, Min-jun remembered, her voice tinged with longing. The scenes of warmth and abundance felt like glimpses into another universe. Her America wasn't a distant superpower or a faceless enemy. It was a secret collage of forbidden songs in a single precious movie. Each cassette tape and DVD cover was a window to a world she could only imagine. It was a dream of emotional freedom, of family dinners filled with laughter, of having enough to eat, and of being able to express love openly. She began to wonder what it would be like to live without fear. When you ask me about America, I think of that music, that family, a place where I might have a heart, she said, clutching the old music player as if it were a lifeline. For her, America became a symbol of hope and possibility. Her answer broke my heart and revealed the quiet, unstoppable power of small, forbidden glimpses into another world. It showed how even a single song or a fleeting image could plant the seeds of hope. For Min-jun, America was not about politics or power. It was about hope, about music that made her feel alive, and about the possibility of love and belonging. It was a dream that grew in the shadows, nurtured by courage and curiosity. Her dream was simple, just to feel, to belong, to be free, to laugh with friends, to run in the open air, to know the warmth of acceptance. That dream was born not from propaganda or grand speeches, but from a song and a story smuggled across borders and shared in whispers. It was a dream that grew stronger with every secret listen, every hidden page. It was a dream that survived against all odds, blooming quietly in the darkness, refusing to be crushed by fear or despair. And in the end, it was a dream that connected us. Two people from different worlds, brought together by the simple, universal longing to be free, to love, and to hope. Min-jun's words echoed my own past. I too was changed by a forbidden film that showed love and choice beyond politics. Her confession shattered the narrative of us versus them. Behind propaganda, there are millions of hearts with secret dreams. Min-jun's America was a fantasy of love and safety, not a political entity. She was freed, in part, by art and music, by empathy. This conversation reaffirmed my belief stories and art are the most powerful tools against oppression. They slip through cracks, planting seeds of hope. Min-jun's first act of rebellion was believing in the humanity of the enemy. She chose hope over hate, guided by a song and a story. That is the light that leads people out of darkness. Our riverside conversation revealed a simple truth. Our shared humanity is stronger than any border. Min-jun's dream of family and freedom is universal. When we see each other as people, not enemies, the idea of the other dissolves. Empathy is the bridge across divides. Before leaving, I gave Min-jun a music player filled with songs from around the world, a symbol of her new possibilities. Her journey is just beginning, and challenges remain, but she's chosen hope and kept her heart open. That is the lesson for all of us. Connection is built one story, one moment at a time. We are all part of one human family. Meeting Min-jun renewed my sense of purpose. Her story is not just one of suffering, but of resilience and hope. In a world that builds walls, stories like hers invite us to listen and seek humanity in everyone. Supporting these stories is an act of building peace and empathy. I urge you, look beyond headlines, seek the faces and dreams behind them. My hope is in human connection, in the courage to dream, and the compassion to listen. Let's keep sharing these stories, building bridges of understanding. Thank you for listening. Your attention is a light in the darkness.